Stary, Carl Jobs, ale lubię ten kanał, jego tak często oglądam do snu. Hello, you absolute legends! No to przechodzimy do oglądania. Najtrudniejszy challenge growy ever został ostatnio ukończony. Coverowaliśmy to wtedy na bieżąco, ale w tym momencie sobie obejrzymy dosłownie archiwizację tego na YouTubie.
Hello, you absolute legends. On the 16th of February 2016, the Happy Hob did something that would change the course of gaming history forever. He beat the original Dark Souls without taking a single hit. This was
2016
monumental.
rok! Czujecie to? To już prawie 10 lat minęło od tego.
This was monumental. A game that was notorious for its...
Ej, wy pamiętacie granie w ogóle w Dark Soulsy w tamtych czasach? Ja przecież streamowałem DS-y, nie wiem, w 2017, w 2018 i to była taka sytuacja, że wtedy to przechodzenie tej gry za pierwszym razem wydawało się, jakby to była jedna z tych gier, której przejście deathless byłoby prawie że niemożliwe, no nie? Oglądałem kiedyś materiał z archiwizacji speedrunów tego i jak wyglądały pierwsze speedruny, jak wyglądały pierwsze glitche, to wtedy dla graczy po wyjściu DS-ów osiągnięciem gdzieś tam, nie wiem, w 2012, w 2011 roku było bez kitu, stary, przejście tej gry deathless na speedrunie, no nie? W takim krótkim segmencie. I to był wtedy wyczyn. I teraz zauważmy, jak postęp graczy, jak nasz skill cap poszedł do góry. Ja tak mam, że jak ja patrzę na jakieś swoje stare gameplaye, to ja mam wrażenie, że 10 lat temu w gry nie potrafiłem grać, no nie? To najbardziej jest widoczne po grach kompetytywnych. Jak sobie popatrzycie na zawody w CS-ie, w LoLu, w Docie, to okazuje się, że to, co na przykład było grane na, wiesz, na jakichś Worldsach, na jakichś mistrzostwach świata, to dzisiaj to wiesz, top 10% graczy gra na tym poziomie, no nie? I robi tego typu zagrywki, tego typu sztuczki, ma tego typu farmę, albo czas reakcji, nie?
difficulty had been conquered in a way that was almost unbelievable.
I to też jest, wiecie, też kwestia tego, że po prostu zaczęliśmy na te gry patrzeć o wiele bardziej analitycznie, no nie? Teamy e-sportowe, no, zaczęły zatrudniać pełnych analityków, no nie? Do tych gier weszło się z matematyką, do tych gier weszło się z psychologią drużynową, prawda? I to miało ogromny wpływ na to, jak nasze umiejętności poszybowały do góry.
In fact, the creator of Dark Souls, Hidetaka Miyazaki, didn't believe it when it happened. And that's always the case when a new type of gaming competition hits the mainstream. It's always initially met with disbelief. Looking at the Happy Hob's reaction to his accomplishment, you can see how much it meant to him. Not only would this have required a lot of effort and planning, but also a lot of self-belief. When you're trying to do something that has never been done before, there is always that niggling bit of doubt that perhaps it's not possible. And when you finally manifest it into reality, it ignites a sense of achievement that is hard to put into words. The Happy Hob's reaction is interesting because on one hand, this was a very big deal at the time. But on the other hand, knowing what we know now, this original Dark Souls no-hit run is a...
Na tym ranie jeszcze nikt nie miał pojęcia, jak w ogóle walczyć z Gwynnem w tej formie, żeby go... To nie jest stan lokowania, ale żeby go celowo zawsze wprowadzać w tą samą animację, no nie? Teraz w ogóle walka z Gwynnem polega na tym, że robisz pierwsze pary, parujesz go, czekasz, odwracasz mu się na plecy, czekasz, aż w pełni się wyprostuje, walisz 2 role do tyłu, robisz mały krok do tyłu, krok do przodu i wtedy zaczynasz biec, on na ciebie skacze z mieczem i masz jeszcze raz otworzone to samo pary, nie?
Into a toddler taking their first steps. Sure, it's a huge milestone, and to them it's extremely difficult, but several years later that same toddler is going to be running, jumping, climbing, and moving around as if it were easy. And the same applied to the Dark Souls no-hit community. What started as one man beating one game without taking a hit has turned into an entire industry of gamers doing ridiculous things. Nowadays, beating Dark Souls without taking a hit is child's play. Now it's about making things as difficult as possible. And while I have talked about Dark Souls no-hit before, earlier this year something special happened. In 2021, I said the greatest achievement in gaming history was Dino Singyle beating the 5 Soulsborne games back-to-back without taking a hit and doing it on Soul Level 1. Well, since then, Dino had been cooking up something special, and earlier this year, he pulled off something that is even more insane. In February of this year, Dino beat not 5, not 6, but 7 of the hardest games ever made.
Czaj się, stary. Przejść 7 gier z rzędu, back to back, resetując za każdym razem, gdy chociaż w jednej z nich dostaniesz hita. na pierwszym levelu, bez kurwa levelowania, stary, to nie jest człowiek, to jest maszyna, to jest pierdolony Bóg, no nie?
made without taking a hit and without leveling his character. That is Demon Souls, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 1, 2 and 3, Sekiro and Elden Ring back to back. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to cover it at the time, but I think it does
Psychologa po tym, chłopie, on ma, wiesz, takie kurwa nerwy ze stali i taką psychę, że ona mu nigdy nie siądzie, nie? To wręcz przeciwnie, to on powinien coachować teraz wszystkich, jak być wytrwałym. Powinien sprzedawać książki.
of a video, so I'm finally getting around to it. Today we are going to revisit the milestones that led to this unbelievable feat of endurance and skill, and take a look at the end of Dino's run, because his reaction is definitely something. I really hope you enjoy. Now legends, please do me a favor and throw your boring ass browser in the bin, because it's time to switch to the inspiring, majestic, captivating browser, today's sponsor Opera GX. Of course, it all began with the OG completion by the Happy Hob in February of 2016.
World record! Holy shit!
This really did kick off everything, and brought the idea of no-hit into the forefront of the gaming community. After this, things
I teraz wyobraźcie sobie, wiecie jaka była diametralna różnica w poziomie trudności tego no-hita, którą zrobił i tych no-hitów, które są teraz? W tym momencie to jest zmin-maksowane i wszystko wyliczone. On to robił zupełnie innymi taktykami, które no, na dzisiejsze standardy są po prostu nieoptymalne już.
started to progress quicker and quicker.
To, co on zrobił, wymagało na pewno wyższego skilla niż wszystkie inne no-hity.
As more players took on the
Obecnie
challenge
robione.
and put their minds together to solve all of the problems that no-hit runs pose. In July 2016, Faraz Khan conquered Dark Souls 3, which was especially impressive given that the game was so new and quite a few players were vying for the honor of being the first.
Good fucking man, holy shit. I did it, 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 I can't believe I did it, I did it.
In 2017, the 3 remaining games in what is known as the Soulsborne series also fell, starting with Demon Souls in May by the player Milty Milt.
Guys, that's it. That's it.
June would see Bloodborne completed at the hands of
Jesus
Jesus Sears Toast,
Uwielbiam Zeusa.
Dead.
and the Happy Hob would defeat Dark Souls 2 within that same month.
Jesteście cieszy, że DS2 ludzie zostawili na koniec, stary. DS1 zrobiony, Bloodborne zrobiony. Demon Souls DS2 nikt nie chciał robić.
World record! All world's first!
After being the first to beat Dark Souls 2 without being hit, the Happy Hob had now completed all 3 Dark Souls games, and being the crazy man he is, he decided to grind for the Trilogy, a back-to-back no-hit run of all 3. And in March of 2018, he did exactly that.
Trilogy no hit run!
3 gierki. Przejdzie to.
We did it! Fucking 12 months!
And this is where that slippery slope of insanity really started to build momentum. The Happy Hob kept pushing. A year later, he was the first to beat all 5 Soulsborne games back to back.
Soulsborne no hit run! We did it!
Bloodborne i Demon Souls to dorzucone.
Soulsborne no hit.
Pies.
And
tam
then,
wchodzi.
after Sekiro was released, he wanted to go for all 6. This run would be called Soulsborne Kiro. However, surprisingly, it wouldn't be the Happy Hob that managed to do this first. Instead, that honor went to the player Dobby Sama in October 2020.
Soulsborne Kiro, no it's run!
Nawet nie kojarzę tego ziomeczka, nie?
And of course, when FromSoft released Elden Ring in 2022, the insanity continued. In September of that same year, the player Bushido Yu completed the no-hit run known as
Bushido generalnie używa trochę innych stratów niż wszyscy inni. On jest właśnie chyba Portugalczykiem.
Soulsborne Kiro
Albo Hiszpanem,
Ring.
nie pamiętam.
7 games back-to-back, 0 hits. A 16-hour marathon.
Ahora sí.
Bestia del Circulo. La Madame Fuerza. Flame Grand Restraint.
This already seems beyond comprehension, but honestly the 7-game run is still just the tutorial, because the real challenge begins when you start adding restrictions.
Przejść 7 gier z rzędu bez otrzymania hita? Dla tych ludzi to jest chuj, stary. Zacznijmy dodawać restrykcje, nie?
All of these previous runs were
Jestem ciekaw, do jakiego poziomu szaleństwa oni się doprowadzą, no nie? W tym momencie mamy restrykcje bez levelowania. Gdzie będzie
just
dalej?
no hit,
Gdzie jest
and
limit?
that's it. Aside from the standard restrictions that come with the no-hit category, you can do whatever you like to make your character stronger and get through games quicker and easier. But as soon as you start handicapping yourself, that's when the super mega hardcore challenge begins. Level 1 no-hit runs were the natural progression after beating the games normally, and they make the challenge far more difficult for numerous reasons. Obviously, without making your character stronger, you do less damage, so fights last longer. But you can't even raise your endurance, which means that resource management becomes a huge issue, seeing as though every attack and roll costs stamina. The issues don't stop there either. In Dark Souls 2, the amount of invincibility frames you get when you roll is directly tied to your agility level. And at level 1, your iframes only last for a quarter of a second. To give you an idea,
Tylko wam zaznaczę, to nie jest poziom agility, to jest poziom adaptability, który się przelicza potem na statystykę ukrytą, która się nazywa agility i to jest równanie pomiędzy attunementem a adaptability, no nie? Nie levelujcie dexa myśląc, że będziecie mieć więcej iframesów.
harder at level 1 runs are, the Happy Hob did his Dark Souls Trilogy no-hit run a year before anyone managed to beat just Dark Souls 2 by itself at level 1. The Papa Finn was the first player to do it in January 2019, just 2 months before the Happy Hob would do his legendary Soulsborne hitless run. It's arguable that a single game at level 1 is more difficult than multiple games back-to-back without that restriction. In October 2019, Squilla Killa would be the first person to complete the Souls trilogy at level 1.
The world might be mended. So the world might be mended.
Oh
Wait,
my
how could I miss
god.
this?
Oh my god. Oh my god, man.
And then, of course, in March of 2021, Dino, after months of grinding, would achieve immortality by beating all 5 Soulsborne games back-to-back without leveling.
Ja nie wiem, czy jest ten trudniejszy żywot w gamingu niż to, co oni robią. Serio. Podajcie mi trudniejsze osiągnięcie niż to, co te chłopaki w tym momencie puszują.
This feat was so incredible that it would take over 4 years before another player would repeat it, with the Happy Hob finally completing his Soulsborne Soul Level 1 run just last week.
Let's go!
Oglądaliśmy to.
It took 4 years for someone to match Dino at level 1, and in that time, Dino had been busy. A couple of months after Bushido Yu completed his 7-game no-hit marathon, Dino did his own.
7 gier, stary.
And I suppose at this point, Dino's next decision was inevitable. He would go for everything. Soulsborne Kiro Ring, Soul Level 1. Unfortunately for Dino, one of those extra 2 games, Sekiro, just happens to be the most difficult when you don't power up your character. It's even more challenging than Dark Souls 2. Your ability to deal damage in Sekiro is severely hampered when you can't increase your attack power. And while the Sekiro run itself may not necessarily be longer than some other runs, this doesn't mean it's easier, as there is far less downtime in boss fights. The fights in Sekiro are much higher paced than Dark Souls, and the amount of inputs that need to be precise in a shorter period of time makes it extremely demanding. So now you have to repeat something that only 2 people have done before, and then on top of that, complete an even more difficult game, plus Elden Ring as the cherry on top.
Jak ta Emma stary z levelowaniem to 15 sekund.
Thankfully,
po max,
Elden
nie?
Ring is probably the easiest in the series to complete on level 1, due to the fact that you can increase your damage substantially by using certain equipment, but Sekiro more than makes up for it. From the time Dino started grinding his original
Ta walka, by the way, ona jest w pełni oskryptowana tak jakby, no nie? Z Radagonem na no-hicie walczysz w taki sposób, że forsujesz go do konkretnych ataków. Ona zawsze wygląda tak identycznie, jak, w sensie identycznie, jak ją dobrze wykonasz.
level 1, due to the fact that you can increase your
Problem jest z Elden Beastem tylko na SL1 i wtedy faktycznie trzeba go resetować, jeżeli ci zły outcome da. nie?
damage substantially by using certain equipment, but Sekiro more than makes up for it. From the time Dino started grinding his original Soulsborne SL1 run to when he managed to do it was really only a few months, which is a lot of work, but it's not a super long time, especially compared to some grinds I've seen in speedrunning. But when it came to the full 7-game run, Dino made the decision to start grinding for it in early 2023. That was 2.5 years ago. This was going to take a lot of work. Dino needed to go back to the drawing board many times to try and make segments more consistent, and many times he would face truly heartbreaking moments. Multiple times he would be on game 6 or 7 over 15 hours into the run, and it would all end in an instant.
15 godzin czejcie to, kurwa.
What is a casual god run? It's 5 games back to back, no hit on level 1. Because we
Casual.
already beat Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne and Demon Souls back to back, no hit on level 1.
Casualowy challenge, nie?
You know? What?
Co to było?
Demon Souls back to back, no hit on level 1. You know?
Z pleców dostał.
What? What?
Shadows of Yaron to jest najtrudniejsza walka, nie? W Sekiro w trakcie no-hita. Pik totalny. I chuj. Wiecie, na czym on się tu wyjebał? Jezu. On się tu wyjebał na klawiszologii Bloodborne'a, tak mi się wydaje. Bo w Bloodborne'ie nie możesz przebindować klawisza rola i skoku i skaczesz wtedy, gdy biegniesz i w trakcie biegu wciśniesz jeszcze raz guzik biegów, no nie? I zauważcie, że on tutaj biegł, bo chciał zrobić spacing. On tu zaczyna biec, widzi już ten atak, chciałby rolnąć, tylko jakby teraz kliknął rola, to by skoczył po prostu i by i tak dostał tego hita. Więc on próbował się zatrzymać. On próbował się, stary, zatrzymać po to, żeby móc zrolować. To jest najbardziej zjebane w Bloodborne'ie. No. Wydaje się, możesz to przewindować.
Shit.
I chuj. Na ostatniej grze.
But finally, on the 16th of February 2025, after 2 years of effort in a marathon 19-hour run,
Yeah, I'm stuck,
Dino
Bob.
Singyle
I'm not
finally
again.
achieved this run.
To oglądaliśmy. No, to było w lutym, ponad pół roku temu. Ja mam wrażenie, że to było miesiąc temu.
You got it. It's okay. It's okay.
We did it! It's 2 fucking years! It's almost 2 years! Almost 2 years! Oh my god, we did it! Oh my god, we fucking did it, guys! Fucking shit! We did it!
Dino never fails to produce the most emotional reactions you've ever seen, but I would probably break down into a blubbering mess as well if I ever managed to pull something like this off. I think I would probably be too nervous after completing a single game to continue to play with any degree of skill, let alone 7 in a row, and I really don't understand how these people do it. This is probably the most difficult challenge run that has ever been completed, and according to Dino, he's not sure if he could push this any further. Honestly though, at this point I'm not sure that he needs to. He's already achieved God Gamer status. Even if a new game was released that people would want to lump into this challenge, what kind of insane madman would voluntarily subject themselves to such agonizing torture? A huge belated congratulations to Dino for this achievement. Go and follow his stream for more insane gaming. Thank you so much for watching, you legends. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video.
Dino God Gamer, jeden z największych, tak naprawdę. Nic tego nie zmieni.